Hello and welcome to CXO. My name's David Dungay. We're here at Enterprise Connect in the sunny Las Vegas with Craig there. How you doing, Craig?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. I'm delighted to be here this year. New location, new kind of vibe. You know, what do you think of the show this year?
So it's really interesting going from East Coast to West Coast. I mean, you and I actually had a chance to walk the strip last night and take a look around. It's a really different vibe. A lot of excitement and energy. I think it's going to be really healthy to get a new burst of customer base and partners by going to the West Coast into this show.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the show's been moving towards that kind of CX, CCaaS space for a while. I mean, that seems to have continued a lot here. And of course, you've got the additional show of HIMSS next door, which is the big healthcare show. You know, what do you make of this kind of shift to CX? Is this a CX show now?
You think about it. I can name right now at least 3 or 4 key CX announcements that took place, right? You mentioned to me before talking about Salesforce entering the CX space right now. Zoom actually has got a lot of updates taking place right now with theirs. Everything from they updated their virtual agent to what they call ZVA 3.0. They also added in an agent assist piece, workflow orchestration, and CX insights. All that is like a platform boost that takes place on their whole CX story. So they got great things. Other people, GoTo has actually announced something right now. GoTo has GoTo Connect, and they have announced that they're doing something in the healthcare space, right?
Healthcare, I keep hearing healthcare. Why is healthcare kind of the ground zero for this AI sort of revolution we're seeing?
You know, it's really interesting space. They have some really unique problems, right? First of all, it's a very large market, so there's a lot of opportunity for a lot of companies to succeed in this early part right now. But I think the promise of AI is going to take some of those frictions out of those whole processes, not only for the clinicians, but for the patients as well too, right? And now that you can start doing these integrations, tying it into health management systems or HMSs right now, or electronic health records, EHRs, what you start getting is I can tie data that I'm capturing in phone conversations directly to a patient record, not just a CRM, but their health record as well too. And it helps kind of simplify that flow of process. But you're right, GoTo announced, RingCentral also announced one.
Tell me about RingCentral. They had a fairly big announcement today. What was the crux of that announcement?
That's right. So RingCentral has had their AI suite. They called it the 3 A's: AIR, AVA, and ACE. First one, AIR, is an AI receptionist. AVA is a virtual assistant, and ACE is a customer interaction measurement tool. How do we do? Well, now they've taken this platform and they've added a layer on top of it called AIR Pro. And what AIR Pro is, it's now their agentic platform. This is not only where you can create agents, but you can also orchestrate them throughout the entire workflow. So now, take the phone call in the beginning from AIR, receptionist answers it, it can now trigger activities all throughout the company's workflow. And in particular, back to our healthcare, they're leaning into that they're doing AIR Pro for healthcare. That is where the big integration point they're starting with.
It's interesting. I'm seeing this as well. I mean, AWS earlier they launched their kind of it's a new era of CX, if you like. It's not it's almost predictive CX. It's meeting the customer where they are. In AWS's example, it was a car crash, and it was contacting the person. Are you okay? We've called a truck to come help you get towed. Do you need assistance? How can we do it? And it was sort of preempting those needs. But it feels like this is where we're going.
Yeah.
With CX now. What do you think?
I think you're right. There's, we've had this friction with virtual agents. People hate them, right? There's the stats saying something like 34% of people feel no point of resolution. 36 continue to have to ask for additional information. What AI is doing, first of all, it's able to be more rich context for that person when they're just dealing with this virtual agent. But secondly, which is really cool, is it's handing off information to the live human agent more fluidly. So all of a sudden you don't have to say, did you reboot your computer again once the new guy gets on the line or something like that. So you have these great hands-off of the information. So AI is taking some of the friction out of this process. So, bring it back full circle, this is really turning into a CX show, and we're seeing a lot of how these companies are taking something like AI and bringing it to market.
And I think that's why the Salesforce announcement this morning is so interesting, right? So traditionally a CRM system, they're now into the CX space. Of course, they've got their CCaaS integrations as well already, but they're controlling that customer interaction data. That's where all that insight is coming from. That is really where the battle is going to happen, I think.
It is, and what you're also seeing too is that horizontal platforms right now, all these UCaaS platforms are having harder times to get more market share. Margins are getting thinner, so you see a lot of vertical plays coming into bear. So automotive industry, education, and healthcare, like you and I talk about. And with HIMSS right across the hall, more or less, I'm sure we'll see a lot of conversations or walking between both places taking place here.
Craig, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
I will do that. Thank you so much, Dave.
And thank you for watching me, David Dungate on CXM.